Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arlen Podcast. I'm your host today, Eli Detter. Today we are going to continue reading this book. This was meant to find you by Charlotte Freeman. And actually, before that, I have a funny little thing that's just a little personal thing. Recently, I'm sure you guys have all heard of the game BitLife. It's a ridiculous little game, a little ridiculous life simulation game. But I'm just absolutely addicted to it, and I think it's like the ridiculousness of being able to, it's the ridiculousness of being able to what's the word? I don't know, accumulate wealth. Like that's the one thing I'm focused on in the game. Because I'm always like, oh, how can I make more money in this game? But it's like that's so real though. That's so real to like how a lot of people look at life. Is they're like, oh, how can I just make more money? How can I just get to a higher position? And I think that can come to the detriment of ourselves. And I don't think we always realize that. Is that sometimes that can kind of be detrimental to ourselves. Just the fact that sometimes all we're focused on is how can we um, how can we create a how can we live a life where we're just all we're doing is instead of all we're doing is just making money and trying to get to the highest position in our life, how can we get to a position where money isn't the most important thing in our lives, where money isn't the thing that's like, oh my gosh, we just have to make all this money, right? We just have to generate all that wealth, right? How can we change the expectations of ourselves in that manner and realize that money is not, money is not like the universal solvent to all of our problems. Money is not the solution to every single problem. Most of the times it's looking within ourselves. And I just want to share that with you guys. But anyways, I'm going to hop into it. We're continuing on page 22 of This Was Meant to Find You, written by Charlotte Freeman. Never forget that you deserve what your heart desires. Never forget that you are capable of what your heart desires. You are enough. You are enough even when you don't feel like it. Even on your darkest days, the ones where you don't even feel like getting out of bed, you're enough on those days too. You are enough even when your heart has been hurt by someone you love and care about. Those days when you stand in front of the mirror and don't feel like yourself, you're enough on those days too. When you're exhausted, run off your feet, and didn't finish everything you needed to that day, you're enough then too. You are enough. You always are, and you always have been. Be kind to yourself today and always. You come first. It's great to look after others, but don't forget to look after yourself too. It's lovely that you help people achieve their goals, but don't forget that your hopes and dreams are worthy of coming true too. You're allowed to say no if something doesn't serve you. You're allowed to say no if something doesn't feel right. Don't betray yourself for the sake of someone else's happiness. I'm going to repeat that sentence. Don't betray yourself for the sake of someone else's happiness. Learn to recognize when this is happening, because it's likely when you need to say no or put some boundaries in place to protect yourself. It's not selfish to make yourself the most important person in your life. It's important to be there for others, but don't forget to be there for yourself too. Sometimes all it takes for you to do it is to finally decide how much you want it. Things to let go of. Too often we hold on to things that are damaging us, and we fail to see just how much we deserve, because it's the easiest thing to believe when we are doubting ourselves. The truth is, we are all a lot happier when we finally begin to let go of whatever is dragging us down. Let go of one-sided relationships. Let go of the people whose actions do not match their words. These relationships pull you down and don't contribute to your growth. Be brave enough to put yourself first. Be brave enough to put yourself first and finally let them go. It's hard at first, but what follows is so worth it, and once you experience that feeling, you will agree. Let go of the guilt you feel for not doing it all at once. Be proud of yourself just for making it this far. There is still so much time to make magic happen. Let go of the fear of failure. Let go of the idea that it's too late to succeed. You have everything you need to succeed already within you. Release your self-doubt and go after everything you know you can achieve. Do not tempt yourself into staying in the same place forever just because it's comfortable. Let go of competitive energy. Stop comparing yourself to those around you and try to see your own worth. There is space for you to be everything you dream to be, and once you focus on yourself instead of those around you, it becomes so much easier to achieve your goals without all the unnecessary outside noise. Let go of your limiting beliefs. They are more damaging than you think. The way you speak to yourself matters, and if your mind gets used to a negative narrative, your mind will have a negative outlook. If you are feeling stuck, think about everything that you are holding on to. Let go of anything that is making your soul feel heavy. Let go of anything that is making your heart feel burnt out and your mind feel tired. Let go of everything that is making you feel like you do not deserve more. Please believe that you deserve to feel free of all the things you are carrying that were never actually yours to hold on to. Because you deserve to breathe without burden and feel happiness without the fear of someone taking away from you once more. Lighten the load. I hope that you know you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your own. I hope you know that there are people out there who are happy to share the load. I hope you know that your past does not define you and that it's okay to let go of it little by little, day by day, until the weight of what you're carrying doesn't make you feel like you're stuck, unable to move any direction you're longing to move in, unable to move at all. I hope you allow yourself to heal because you deserve to walk through this life with a purpose. I hope you know that it's okay to release your grip and begin to set yourself free. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love with making each day more beautiful than the last. Let's fall in love with ourselves a little more each day, and with every messy and uncomfortable thing we learn about ourselves while doing so. Let's fall in love with making mistakes in order to grow. Let's fall in love with taking risks and taking meaningful steps outside our comfort zones. Let's fall in love with the littlest things in life, the biggest things, and absolutely everything in between. Let's fall in love with prioritizing ourselves in the way that looking after our minds and bodies makes us feel. Let's fall in love with life and everything on this planet that makes you feel like you belong here. Let's fall in love with chasing happiness in each moment that helps you catch it. Let's open our hearts and let love in every way imaginable. Let's fall in love with the gift that we have been given to be right here, right now. Let's fall in love with each other and watch the beauty bloom from our soft hearts and shine light onto the world. Damn, that's a good one. Seasons. This is for anybody going through a tough season right now. Please be gentle with yourself. When the world seems dark, it's only fair that you are compassionate with yourself while you navigate your way at this time. We are all doing the best we know how to at the moment, and you are no different. I want you to know that you're not alone. I promise you that whatever you're feeling, there's someone else feeling it all with you. I encourage you to reach out to someone and share what you're feeling. You'll learn so quickly how much support you have around you, and you're not as isolated as you feel. Please remember that nothing is permanent. This season will pass. This too will pass. On the other side of this pain and uncertainty is strength, happiness, and growth. Focus on this feeling. Focus on how proud of yourself you will be once you pull yourself through the season and into the next. You have pulled yourself through every hard time so far, and you'll pull yourself through this one too. Be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, and be honest with your feelings. Become comfortable sharing your feelings when they start to overwhelm you. It's truly amazing how clear your mind can feel once you get everything out of your head. It almost gives you an instant sense of clarity and calm. Move mountains. You were not put on this earth to stay in the same place forever. You were put on this earth to move mountains and make magic. I know you will know this already. You're just having trouble finding the motivation to finally change, to grow, and take action. Whenever you are feeling lost or held back by your self-limiting beliefs, try to remember what it is you're after. Remember what it is that makes your soul sing and feels like you have a purpose. I know it's hard to find the motivation you need when you're unsure on what you are working towards, which is why you first need to find clarity on what you're working towards. Remember that there will be days where you might still struggle to find motivation, but you can't let that set you back. Tomorrow is a new day, and you are doing your best. Keep growing and keep going. You will never be a burden to the ones who love you. You will never be a burden to the ones who love you. You will never be a burden to the ones who love you. The right one. Let the wrong kind of person show you all the ways that you deserve to be loved by the right one. Let the pain of this past of the lesson. Let the pain of the past be a lesson for what's to come. Wait for a love that feels exactly as you always thought it would. Wait for a love that feels like something you haven't felt before. Wait for a love that is calm, a love that doesn't consume you, but encourages you to grow. Wait for a love that doesn't make you question yourself or your future. Wait for a love that holds your heart gently because you deserve the softest kind of love. Because what a beautiful moment it is when you realize that your heart is capable of healing again, even after it has been broken. This last section I'm going to read is titled Moving Forward. Moving forward is one of the hardest challenges we are faced with, but it can also be the most rewarding. Letting go of something that is no longer serving you is the ultimate freedom. It is the ultimate act of self-care, especially when so much time you realize that the head and the heart won't ever come to an agreement. Letting go is heartbreaking. There are some things that you can do to make it easier, though, and it's all about trusting yourself and trusting your decision. If you start to question yourself, you need to remember exactly what you were feeling when you started to think about why it might be time to move forward. Do you have doubts? Are you questioning yourself more than you used to? Have you lost some of your sense of self? At some point, the situation became something you no longer wanted, and you are honoring yourself by making a decision that will better your life. You've done the hard part by facing this realization. Don't let yourself down now because you're afraid of the unknown. Do not allow yourself to stop your forward movement because you're afraid to leave your comfort zone. I know that in the mind, you can wander to places that you don't want to go, but overanalyzing the past is not productive. You can't go back in time. You can only go forward. Try to encourage your thoughts to follow this ethos too. Trust that your new path will bring you everything you need to be happy. The past is in the past for a reason. If something was absolutely meant for you, it wouldn't now be in your past and you wouldn't be questioning it. You just know. Trust that. Think forward. Move forwards. Always. Remember that your mind sometimes has the power to play tricks on you. Don't succumb to those thoughts. Sometimes on a day when you are feeling low, when doubting yourself, your mind can wander and make you question why you even wanted to move in the first place. Missing someone can make you ask yourself these questions too. Do not give in to these emotions. Be gentle with yourself. Rest your mind and remember that tomorrow is a new day, and I promise it will bring more clarity than you have right now. Don't let one moment of doubt hold so much power over so much certainty, over all the work you have done on yourself, over what you know deep down is true. And I'm going to end it there for this episode. We ended on page 35, and we started on page 22. You know, this book it's absolutely amazing. I actually haven't even read through it the whole way. I'm only actually halfway through it. But I'm happy I'm reading it again here with you guys. And I hope that when you read this, when you hear this, I hope you just listen, Don't try to have a comeback to certain things that are said. Just listen. Gosh, what a better life we'd all live if we all just listened a little bit more. Well, anyways, thank you all so much for listening to the RLM podcast today. I really hope that you guys do to continue to support and listen to RLM podcast. Of course, you can find this podcast on many different platforms. We are on obviously Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. We are on Pocket Casts. We are on so many different podcast websites and apps, and I hope that you all take advantage of it all and that you share it with your friends and family, especially if you have a favorite episode. Be sure to share that. That's very helpful. And yeah, I really want to see how we can grow and how we can learn and how we can become even better. So thank you all again so much for all the support I've gotten with the Arlen podcast, and I can't wait to see what we have next. I believe we have a couple guests who are going to be coming on soon, so keep your eyes open and keep your ears open and your eyes peeled. Thank you for listening. My name is Eli Detter, and this was the Arlen podcast, and I'm signing off. See you next time.